In this video, we will discuss Sikhism. The origins of Sikhism began in the roots of Hinduism. The word Sikh literally means disciple, and Sikhs are disciples of various gurus, most of whom began as Hindus. These gurus were spiritual teachers, and according to Sikhism, there were 10 major important gurus. The first of these was Guru Nanak. Guru Nanak was born in the 15th century CE. He was Hindu and was part of the Kshatriya class, or caste, the caste of the nobles. Guru Nanak supposedly consulted Hindu as well as Muslim teachers and built a community in Pakistan. In the community that he built a prototype of what would later become Gurdwara, or literally doorways of the Guru. These are the gathering places where Sikhs meet today, and Guru Nanak, one of the first Sikhs, was the first to begin this meeting place. Guru Nanak emphasized the oneness of God, and effectively stripped away religious differences and various traditions that both Hindus and Muslims brought to the table, revolving around worship and rituals, and focused on praising God through hymns and music. There are 10 gurus, as I mentioned, according to Sikhism, who were important teachers. And while the gurus between Guru Nanak and Guru Arjan were important, we see Guru Arjan as the 5th guru, and he's important for his collection of the Sikh scripture, which we'll talk about in a moment. The final of the gurus was Guru Gobind Singh. In Sikhism, there's one text that's typically considered the most authoritative or major scripture, which is the Adi Granth. The Adi Granth is sometimes called the Sri Guru Granth Sahib. Adi Granth literally means first book or first volume. It's a collection of hymns and poems of the first 5 gurus, and the 5th guru, Guru Arjan, compiled and created this collection in the early 17th century CE. This text contains hymns, poems, and various other pieces written by these early gurus. The Dasam Granth is sometimes considered authoritative by some Sikhs, though not all, and this literally means the book or volume of the 10th master. The Dasam Granth is attributed to Guru Gobind Singh, the 10th guru. Finally, we have the Rahitnama, which is again authoritative to some, though not all Sikhs, and contains the teachings of Guru Gobind Singh. As we turn to look at the religious beliefs of Sikhs, we see what stands out most is the belief in a unified one God. This God is sometimes called Vaheguru, literally meaning praise to the Guru, as the God is celebrated as the chief Guru, and is sometimes called Akal Purakh, which refers to the state of immortality or timelessness of this God. Akal Purakh is believed to be a unified one God, and we see this represented in the Sikh symbol that you can see here, which is called the Ik Onkar, and this literally means one God. Sikhism at its core is very much a monotheistic religion, which is one of the ways that it differs from Hinduism. We do see that Sikhs often celebrate the various deities of Hinduism, but do not celebrate them as the chief or major god. Like Hinduism, Sikhism has a very strong belief in moksha and samsara. However, unlike in Hinduism, where we see that one's moksha is tied to their caste, and dharma is attached to this, that whatever caste one is in, or even whatever gender one is, determines what things must be done to complete one's dharma or duty. In Sikhism, however, achieving moksha is separate from caste and gender roles. One person's moksha and achieving this would not be necessarily different from somebody else's because of their gender or because of their caste. According to Sikhism, one of the downfalls of humanity is haumai. This literally means something along the lines of pride or egoism. Because of this, there's a focus on meditation and recognizing what needs to be fixed in oneself and looking inward to do so. Perhaps the major Sikh holiday, besides some of the Hindu holidays that Sikhs have adopted, is Vaisakhi Day. And this day celebrates the founding of the Khalsa. The Khalsa was a community created by Guru Gobind Singh, the 10th Guru, that collected people who wanted to devote themselves to a particular way of life. We'll see here in a moment that there were 5 major components of being part of the Khalsa. What we do see, however, in general Sikh beliefs in daily life is a focus on meditation, devotion, and prayer. Remember that while we see devotion or bhakti in Hinduism, this is to a variety of gods, typically choosing one chief deity, whereas in Sikhism this is solely to the one god, Akal Purakh. Guru Gobind Singh established the Khalsa around 1699 CE, and the Khalsa had 5 major components that one must do to uphold this community rule. The first of these is kes. Kes applied to not cutting one's hair. When you see typically a male Sikh today, you often might see them wearing a turban. The turban is actually not part of the requirements for the tradition. Rather, the idea that they are not supposed to cut their hair, or according to some to even brush or style their hair, means that it's difficult to manage, so they'll wrap it up in a turban to keep it out of the way. The second is the kangha. Whereas the kes is focused on keeping what God has created and not cutting one's hair, the kangha refers to the comb in one's hair, which is supposed to represent cleanliness. The kara is the steel bracelet that Sikhs will often wear, which represents being connected to God. The kirpan is the sword or dagger that Sikhs will often wear, and this relates to being a protector of justice and truth. And finally, we will often see Sikhs wearing shorts with drawstrings called kash, and these are to represent chastity. Now, the Khalsa is not a community that all Sikhs are a part of. Many Sikhs will not follow these 5 Ks that we call these, but some might. These typically become the markers of Sikhism for what we see today, but again, as we've seen with other religious traditions, this varies from person to person. Now that we have reached the end of this video, you should be able to describe the origins of Sikhism, identify and describe the main beliefs and scriptures of most Sikhs, and list and explain the 5 Ks of Khalsa.